Introducing the African Diaspora News Channel app, your gateway to stories that's overlooked by the corporate mainstream media.
And we serve as the voice to the global Black community.
Again, we got Dr. Candace Matthews.
A lot of these documents, looking at.
We are committed to informing and educating through the power of media.
This country is supposed to be about the land of the free for all. It has not been free for Black people, and we are tired.
With our platform, we're helping to end injustice by exposing it.
Join us in standing for excellence in journalism and serving our community. Download the African Diaspora News app today.
Election results are in, and the fall of the House of ANC has just begun. ANC now wants to form a government of national unity. Hello, my name is Reneilwe Morema, and I am your host right here on the African Diaspora News channel, reporting live from Johannesburg, South Africa. It has been a whirlwind for the past few days with the elections in South Africa that took place on the 29th of May 2024. Weeks before the elections, we saw tensions mount up in the atmosphere for the citizens of South Africa as anticipation got the better of us. Violence ensued between political parties and their supporters, and I totally understand why. These elections were the turning point of claiming our power back, and it was our responsibility as the citizens of South Africa to ensure our voices are heard, and most importantly, to put a political party in power that had our best interests at heart, rather than just putting them there to enrich themselves. South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa is under growing pressure after leading the ANC to its worst election results in 30 years. Forcing it to share power. With results counted in from all polling stations this past Sunday, the ANC had 40% of vote, a precipitous drop from 57.5% it secured in the last national elections in 2019. The ANC has always polled above 50% since the dawn of democracy in 1994, which saw Nelson Mandela become president. But support for the party has been dropping significantly because of anger over high levels of corruption, unemployment, and crime. It is no surprise that the ANC has lost more than 70 seats in parliament because the people grew tired of not being taken seriously when it came to matters that bothered them. The ANC's poor performance comes as no surprise. It was a long time coming. When you have been comfortable for 30 years, you tend to take the people that put you into power for granted. And that is what the ruling party has done. The ANC will have a tough time convincing South Africans of their willingness to change and transform themselves in the 5 years if its leadership remains the same. These results are showing us that the people are not just voting cattle fodder for political parties. They have proven that people can speak for themselves and their will be done. We owe no loyalty to anyone. I must say I am proud of the KZN province. They really stood on business. They managed to shrink the ANC to nothing. When the ANC descended on KZN with Thabo Mbeki in tow, they thought everything was under control, but the voters in that province taught them a lesson. I just wish the whole country was on board with that mindset. Majority of the ANC voters comes from Limpopo, the Eastern Cape, and the Northwest. Honestly, I think it has something to do with Stockholm Syndrome, a form of psychological connection with their captors. And they began to sympathize with them. It has nothing to do with service delivery, as these provinces are the poorest provinces in South Africa, respectively. I think the citizens felt bad that their leaders might be out of a job because, let's face it, most political leaders are uneducated and they are not skilled in any form of work except politics. So if they are out of a job, they are useless. So they need these little positions to feel like humans, to feel valued and to be seen and heard, even though they offer us none of that as the citizens of South Africa. With the disappointing numbers at the polls, it is clear that The future of some of the ANC members is on the line, including ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa. The decline of the ANC at the polls is Cyril Ramaphosa's legacy, and I do not think he will survive the next 5 years as a party leader. There is bound to be some reaction, and he might be recalled. I mean, that's what happens when you give a political party bad results at the polls. You are bound to be recalled. The future looks dim for ANC since the elections, but Ramaphosa is said to remain tough as coalition talks begin with several options on the table. The ANC will go shopping for partners to help it form a government by selling the idea of a government of national unity to those headed to parliament. The decision was taken at a meeting of top leadership early this month. The ANC will tell potential partners that Cyril Ramaphosa's removal is not an option. Which is weird because I thought when a president gives you bad results at the polls, he's meant to be recalled. It's natural. It's always been that way. So for people to want Ramaphosa to stay after these bad results, I'm a bit suspicious. Something is off. Something is really, really off. The ANC decided to form the Government of National Unity because things are getting tense. It does not know which way to go. It does not know whether to get in bed with the EFF or the MK or the DA. The Government of National Unity option is perceived as an attempt by the ANC to manage the process of forming a government and to avoid the backlash that will come with choosing between the DA, the MK party, and the EFF. The ANC has 4 options. I'm going to lay down these 4 options for my South African citizens so I can give them a light and give them information and let them weigh their options. Number 1, a government of national unity, which I think is absurd. We all know how that system works. The government of national unity was declared Plan B to prevent and neutralize majority rule. If Ramaphosa knew what freedom means to us and what it took to get us to this point, he will not take us back to apartheid. Government of national unity with the DA involved is literally a step back, and South Africans should fight this. South Africa's last attempt at multi-party rule in the Government of National Unity that was inaugurated on the 10th of May 1994.
It's not fighting for power sharing. When we fight against Bozo, we are doing so because we don't want to share power with him. We are fighting against Islam because we don't want to share power with him. People cannot share power with the enemy. The enemy must be crushed. Who left? Who right? Who? Come on, son. Who left? Kita. Kinamai. Hiya maruma.
How did the Government of National Unity work? Firstly, it was not by the ANC's generosity that the National Party was entitled to an executive deputy president, which was FW declared that time, and 6 cabinet ministers. It was a requirement of the 1993 Constitution that says any party that had 80 members of parliament would be entitled to nominate an executive deputy president and 6 ministers in the 27-member cabinet.
I see a split coming, whether it will be a series of smaller splits or one big split, I can't predict, but a split coming and a realignment in party politics where people believing in the same values, although they find themselves in different parties, will much more easily be able to work together, form coalitions.
The IFP, which won more than 40 seats, was entitled to 3 ministers. The president decided which portfolios would be allocated to the coalition parties, but the party leaders would choose which of their MPs would be appointed to their portfolios. In the spirit of ensuring that the Government of National Unity works, President Nelson Mandela assigned the Finance Ministry to de Klerk's National Party. meaning the Minister of Finance from the National Party of de Klerk will manage the country's finances. But the NP, the National Party of de Klerk, will not have control over the finance ministry.
And the first difficulty I have about that is that Mr. de Klerk has done nothing. We have done something. What are you rewarding him for? That's the first question.
Well, let me.
You are crediting Mr. de Klerk for rectifying his own mistakes, his own injustices. You must remember that in enforcing apartheid, many of our people have been killed, and many of our people have been executed for resisting a policy which the government now admits is an evil system. What are you rewarding him for as against that background?
However, by the middle of 1995, the great flaw on which the government of national unity had been constructed had become increasingly evident. It was not a genuine coalition. It was a Potemkin coalition with all the trappings of a genuine coalition, but without any of the substance. The National Party caucus and support base were confronted by policy after policy with which they did not agree, but with which they were inextricably associated because of their membership of the Government of National Unity. The problem was that the Government of National Unity, unlike all genuine coalition, was not based on a properly negotiated agreement covering all the main policies that would be promoted by the government. De Klerk said that he will oppose any policies or decisions made by the Government of National Unity which he did not agree with. This led to bitter attacks on him by Nelson Mandela in and out of cabinet for failing to support the Government of National Unity. The Government of National Unity was hell for de Klerk and the National Party. They felt trapped and caged in with no real power. But the final straw came with the adoption of the 1996 Constitution, with the ANC refusing to add even the modest proposal for power sharing in the final constitution, which led to the withdrawal of de Klerk's National Party from the Government of National Unity. This is what's going to happen to the Government of National Unity, our 2024 Government of National Unity. There are many policies the DA and the ANC disagree on to get into this Government of National Unity together. The DA supports America. They support NATO, the same organization that killed Gaddafi because he wanted to liberate Libya and the rest of Africa. Shout out to Ibrahim Traore and all our Western African brothers and sisters for fighting to liberate Africa. We failed to see Malima's vision, and we are about to pay the price.
We've got the DA, we've got the MK, and we've got the EFF. What does the DA stand for? The DA stands for, the DA is friends with these people. They like America. They're friends with America. Not too long ago, they had a little kiki ha meeting. And then they are for the 1% holding the economy of South Africa. They support that. They're also friends with these ones. These ones in Stellenbosch. They are friends with these ones. We all know almost the DNA is currently ruling the Western Cape, where there is Cape Town and then there's Gugulethu, Khayelitsha, Langa and them. These are the people. And they like this thing. They like Ugulwa, but they can't do it because as it stands, they are a political party within the bounds of South Africa. And in South Africa, we don't like that. We don't like that. But at their core, we all know this is who they are. Hence their friendship with Chomi over here. They are also like this. Because this is supported by predominantly people like this, right? And we know that people like this don't like people like this. They pretend to like us, but deep down we know they don't. They're also friends with these people. These are not nice guys. They're not nice guys. Trust me. You need to trust me, okay? These people, they're not nice. They also support this. Why? Because they are friends with these people and these people. So automatically, they fall under this. This thing, it's not nice. You remember when we were sick and we had that very strange flu? That was a test run to see how much they can control us, to see how much we like being controlled. They hold this interest at heart. This is their baseline.
Anyway, the DA openly stood with Israel, and in Cape Town, they painted over Palestine murals. They look out for white people's interests, and they are a group of people who believe that race is irrelevant in the discussion of inequality and poverty in South Africa. So this is the kind of party the ANC wants to get in bed with. They are so desperate to get in coalition with them. They want each other. So this is the type of people ANC wants to take us to. Option 2. We have a grand coalition, but with which parties when they are all at war with each other? No one wants to raise the white flag. They have put pride before the country. Zuma's MK party is just a vehicle for Zuma's revenge on Ramaphosa and those that forced him out, that forced him to resign before completing his term back in 2016-2017. The DA doesn't trust the PA, and the fact that the PA has gained favor in the colored community in Western Cape and the Northern Cape doesn't sit well with the DA. The DA is not happy about that. They are fighting over Cape Town with the PA. They have enjoyed ruling Cape Town for all those years, and now the PA is here and is trying to throw them off their game. It does not bode well for them. So now their mission is to get rid of them in the Western Cape. The EFF is considered as the black sheep of the family that no one wants to associate themselves with, but their values are aligned with that of the MK and the ANC. And to me, it seems like a safe bet. The ANC should correlate with the MK and the ANC due to their principles aligning. The third option is a minority government. I don't know how they're going to pull that off. A fourth option is a re-election, is a call for re-election, which I think it is not a bad idea, given that people were not satisfied at the voting stations and some feel like the IEC rigged the elections. If ANC should go into this government of national election, they would have to tell their potential partners that they would have to agree on passing of the budget, security, protecting the constitution, and the judiciary. The deal will open the way for opposition leaders to be elected as Speaker of the National Assembly. It also means Ramaphosa could appoint a deputy president who is not a leader of the ANC, which is scary because we could see DA leader Johnston Hazen become deputy president. There are speculations that should the government of national unity fail, the National Executive Council of the ANC and some of Ramaphosa's allies think the DA is a better option to go into coalition with. Meaning if they choose DA and IFP, we could see the DA taking charge of parliament while the IFP could be accommodated in Ramaphosa's executive. The division of the ANC begins. Some do not want the DA, they'd rather have this government of national unity of black parties only, which is the safer and reliable option at this point, provided everybody put their pride aside for the greater good of South Africa. I think a government of national unity with black parties is the way to go. And the fact that the DA does not want EFF and the MK party in this government of national unity, it does not sit well with me. They want to corner the ANC so that they can manipulate and twist them into doing their bidding. They can manipulate and twist them into pushing their agendas. They can slowly bring in the Western influence. They can slowly prioritize their policies with the Western countries. They don't want the MK and EFF because the MK and the EFF, they are for the black people. And that is a threat to the businesses, and it is a threat to the private sector. It is a threat to the investors. So guys, I think at this point, if Ramaphosa really wants the government of national unity and the DA is resistant to that, let them go. Let them be a minority government rather. The safe option is to get in bed with the EFF and the MK party and those other little parties, those little other black parties, the PA and the Build One South Africa with Mmusi Maimane, the former DA party. Guys, are you sure? It's fine. The DA can leave. It is okay. We don't care about that. Their resistance is helping us. Their resistance means nothing. Why should the ANC worry themselves that the DA does not want to be part of the government of national unity? What are we going to do? This is havoc. Let's abandon the whole plan. No, don't abandon the whole plan. Rather, get the black parties within. And if the ANC decides to go in coalition with the DA after what former DA leader Mmusi Maimane said about the party, then I am questioning Ramaphosa's principles. I'm questioning Ramaphosa's character as a human being. You can't be that evil. You can't be yes, you were bypassed in 1997 when you wanted to become president, when you wanted to become Nelson Mandela's deputy president, but they chose Mbeki over you, and now you have some sort of vendetta. Your vendetta is with the ANC, not with us, the people. Please do what is best for us. Let the DA go. We don't need them. Let them go there. They don't want to be part of the government national unity because of EFF and MK. Let them go be a minority party. It's fine. It's okay. Don't run after them. Like, having them in the government national unity is not imperative. It is not a national emergency. We will not die without the ANC, the DA. Sorry, we will not die without the DA in this government of national unity. Let them go. Prove to us, Ramaphosa, for once in your life that you are for the black people and you want to protect our interests. What do you think of this segment? What do you think about the DA not wanting the EFF and the MK party in the government of national unity? Comment to us in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and share the broadcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss these groundbreaking conversations right here on the African Diaspora News channel. My name is Reneilwe Morema, and it has been an absolute pleasure.